Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for watching the video. In this video you're going to learn how to make a hunting game, how to design a GUI, and how to do the code for it. So first of all, I will use a normal base plate. In this base plate I need to have one egg mesh model. So I will type egg mesh model in the toolbox. Okay, let's say I'm gonna use this one, so I will drag this egg mesh and I will drop it in here. Okay, and we are going to check if the egg mesh have a mesh or not. Why we are looking for the mesh of the egg? Because in here we'll copy the mesh ID from this egg and we will paste it to our mesh part. Yeah, in here we will use a mesh part. Our egg is available, but we don't want to use this egg. Actually we will use our own mesh part. So in here, when you right click in the screen, you will find a new pop-up page. In here, click on the insert object. When you click on insert object, you will find mesh part. Press on the mesh part, it will look like this. And now we want to make our mesh part as the egg. So how we can do that? Simply we will copy the mesh ID of the egg, the one we choose from the toolbox, and we will come back to the mesh part, the one we have. When we need to paste that one into the mesh parts mesh ID, I click on enter, and let's say our egg is available. So it looks more perfect and more amazing. I can change the color back to white. There you go. I will delete this one, we don't need any more. Okay, so the mesh part is available. In here I'm gonna give some texture. For texture I will change the models to images, and I will change the color. I will just type texture. How we can add a texture to our egg or so on other. So let's say I want to put a rainbow texture. I will right click in this one. When you right click, you will find copy asset ID. Copy the asset ID and come to the mesh part. In the mesh part you will find texture property. You need to just paste it into the texture property and click enter. The egg will be changed for us. Then you paste it again. There you go. So now we have our rainbow egg available. I will rename it to rainbow. Okay, rainbow egg. Okay, so the rainbow egg is available. The same process we will do. We will have some more eggs, around 2 to 3 eggs, different color. I will change the texture of this one to a red color, red cool background. Okay, there you go. Our red color red cool egg is also available. I will change the name to red cool egg. Okay, this is also available. We will need one more. I will duplicate the egg and I will just drag it in here. I will select another color. So let me use a water texture. Yeah, a water texture color. I will take the copy asset. I will copy the asset ID and I will change the texture of the egg to the copy set. Okay, so this is done. I think 3 eggs is enough for us. We will use the simple 3 of these eggs. I will change the name of the last one that I have just renamed, or I have just give the texture. So let me rename this one to water egg. Okay, so all of them are available. I just need to select all of them and I need to group them as a folder. Okay, I'll group them as a folder and name of eggs. Okay, so all of our eggs will be in here. Now I just need to do what? I need to bring the eggs to the replicated storage. We will store our eggs into replicated storage. Later through coding we will bring him back. Okay, so we have stored our eggs already available in here with us. Now what we will do is the second part, or the second option we need to do is we need to make a starter GUI. We need to make a message when you click on when we touch the button, or sorry, when we touch the egg. So the pop-up message will come up when we need to click on OK or so on other. So let me click. I will add one screen, and inside the screen I will add a frame the frame is available, I will drag the frame in here to the middle. I can resize the frame, let's say, okay. Okay, so this much will be our message, our frame. Inside this frame we're going to add a text label, we can add a text button, we can add a viewport frame, and so on other. Okay, after adding the frame, we will do what? We will change the style of our frame. In here we have different style properties. Yeah, we have drop shadow, we can use drop shadow, or we can use Roblox round, we can use Roblox square, and so on other. But in here we will select drop shadow. I think drop shadow is the perfect. After we are done with our frame, what we will do is we will add a viewport frame. Yeah? What is viewport frame for? Viewport frame will help us to do what? To add our, or show us the egg, the one we have touched. Okay, so we will put our egg, our viewport frame in here. In here we will have the picture of the egg, and at the top of this viewport frame I will need text label, 2 text label. First I will use for our title. Let's say in here I want to type congratulations. Okay, so I'll type congratulations, and I'm gonna resize the label. I want to resize the text also. So first let me change the text size to 20 or 25, let's say, due to it's the title. So I'm gonna resize this one also. Yeah, that can be perfect. Okay, this is done. I will make the background transparent due to we don't need it, so I will type background transparency 1. I can change the text color also. I will change the text color to white due to our background is black, so I will select white color, and there we go. Okay, so our text is available, congratulations. After congratulations, in here I will use another label, but before that let me change the name of this label due to we have 2 labels, so we need to separate them using their names. Yeah, congratulations label, let's say congratulations label. Okay, so congratulations label is done. Now what I will do is I need to add one more label that will be our, we can say, the information regarding what we have got, what not we have got. So I will resize this one also. Yeah, in here I will type the text. We can say congratulations, you found an, which, for example, you found a letter through coding. We can give the name of our egg, the egg that you touch, the name will be coming in here. So you will learn how we can give that one codes, and so on other. I will make the background of this text label also transparent, we don't need it. I will change the color to white, and after changing the color I will increase the size, let's say 18. Yeah, 18 will be perfect. I will drag him in here. Yeah, that will be the perfect place for this one. I will rename this label also to you found label. Okay, so the labels are done, everything is ready. The last one more option we need is one more component, which will be our button component, or text button, or we can say image button. So in here I will use one text button. I'm gonna drag the text button. I will resize the text button. This much can be perfect. I will put it in here. Okay, the button will be here. I can change the background color. Let's say I want to make the background color to green color, or let's say another. Okay, I will use green color. It will be like this. I can change the text color to white, and I can change the text size also. Let's say, okay, I think the black color was good. I will change it back to the black, and I will make the size to 16. And I will change the text also from button to what, let's say okay. So I will change it to okay, right? So we need to click on okay, which will be do what, which the message will be disappear. Yeah, okay, so our frame, everything is ready for right now. The design is done. This will how it will look like. Now for now I will make our frame visible false. Yeah, I will make it false, so we don't need it to see right now. Okay, we are done with our starter GUI. I need to use spawn locations where I can spawn the eggs in a different places, different areas. In here I can have a lot of spawn location, as much as you want. The more spawn location we have, the more eggs will be available for us. For example, let's say I'm gonna duplicate this one, but first of all, before I duplicate, I will resize the spawn location. I will make it, let's say 1, 1, 1, 1. I will enter, and I'm gonna duplicate this one and I will drop it in a different places. Yeah, I'm gonna use the move, let's say 1 in here. So this will be our spawn area. In here we will spawn all of our eggs, which will make it like a bunch of a lot of eggs. So let me make them in one group. I'll make them as a group model. I will rename this one to spawn locations. Yeah, let's say spawn location. Okay, the spawn location or spawns already. I just need to make all of them transparent. So I will select all and I need to make them transparent. I will uncheck the can collide also, so when the player is in spawning, the player does not feel that there is any part or so on other. So let me make the transparency first, transparency 1, and can collide off. Okay, anchored, everything is done. Okay, so we are almost done with our design. Now it's time for us to do the code. So first of all, we will do the code for picking random eggs. First we will do the code for picking random eggs. After picking random eggs, we will pick randomly spawn locations and so on other. I'll add one script and I'm going to rename the script to, let's say, spawn egg spawns. Yeah, this will be egg spawn script. Okay, for the egg spawn script, what we will do first, we need to make a variable. For making variable, what for we make the variable, first variable will be for our eggs. Yeah, so I'm gonna make one variable for the eggs. The eggs variable will have, our eggs are available inside our replicated storage, right? So we'll type equal game dot replicated storage dot eggs. There you go. So in here we have already stored our eggs inside our variable. This is done. We will do the code for our spawn locations also, the same. We'll make a variable local and local spawns. Spawns we have in our workspace, so game.workspace.spawns. Yeah, spawn location. So we have renamed our folder spawn location, or the model. Yeah, okay, this is done. Now what we do is we need to do the code for the loop. We want the CM, or we want the eggs, they fall to they spawn after 5 seconds. For example, each 5 seconds they have to spawn, and they have to pick random spawn location, and they have to pick random egg also. So for that one we will use while loop, and while we tell him while wait for, let's say, 5 seconds. Yeah, 5 seconds, and I'm gonna move this, click enter. So in here, while 5 seconds, he will do this action. In this code we will do spawning. We will select randomly egg, we will select randomly spawns also. So first of all, let's do the code for our eggs. We pick up random eggs, but for picking up random eggs, we need to make a table first. We'll make one variable, a name of egg table. We'll make egg table. Egg table is equal to what? You will take all eggs from our eggs variable, the one we made at the first line. So I will say eggs double dot, or we can say colon, get children. I will take all of the children and I will store in here. Okay, this is done. Now we make another variable for picking randomly egg from the egg table. Yeah, so I will type random egg. Random egg will be equal to egg table. Yeah, we take it from the egg table. In here, for picking random, we need to use brackets. I will use bracket. Inside this bracket, the way is we need to type math dot random. Inside the parentheses of random, you need to type 1, comma, hashtag, the name of the table, the one you want to pick. So I will say egg table. There you go. This is how we do the code for picking randomly. Now he picked randomly one from the egg table. Okay, this is done. After picking randomly the egg, Now what we do is, now we will find out we will make another variable for table of our spawn location. So I'm gonna make a variable local space spawn table, yeah. Spawns table is equal to spawns variable, the one we have there, spawns double colon get children, yeah. We take all of the children. The same process, we make another variable random spawn is equal to spawn table. I will use the mathematics again. In here I will do math dot random 1 comma hashtag spawns table, yeah. There you go. The process is the same, almost both of them. This is how we do pick randomly. Now what we do is the egg, that one we made, the one we pick randomly, we need to make that one clone, because the original one we can't, but in here the concept, we need to make a copy, and we need to bring the copy to the workspace, yeah. So for having that one, we need to do what? We need to make another variable local egg clone. We make a clone variable, let's say. In this egg clone we store we store random spawn, yeah. Random egg. The random egg one, we tell him random egg, random egg colon, yeah, colon clone. We make a clone of random egg and we store it inside our egg clone. Okay, after doing that, now what do? We bring our random or clone egg, we bring it to the workspace. So we bring our workspace, we need to do what? Let's make one folder inside our workspace. We type cloned egg. We make one folder first, yeah, and I rename the folder to cloned eggs. We store all of our clone eggs. The one we make a clone, we will store it inside this variable, inside this folder. So for that one, we will make another option. Just simply we just say egg clone dot parent. We make the parent that folder, yeah. The folder that we have made is equal to game dot workspace dot clone egg, yeah, clone eggs. Okay, so we will store all of our new clones, we will store it inside the clone eggs. Okay, so this is done. After doing this, what we do is, now we need to bring our egg clone at the position of our spawn, at the random spawn, the spawn that which has been randomly selected. So for that one, we need to do the same process. We type egg clone dot position. Okay, so we find out the position of our egg clone is equal to random spawn dot position plus vector 3. In here we use vector 3 to make the egg a little bit at the top, or we can say in the sky, so that he can fall down in the spawn location, yeah. So for that one, we will use vector 3. We will bring our egg a little bit higher than the spawn location. But new, we will type, for example, left and right side, we will give 0, comma, how much height do I want from the spawn location? Let's say 25. So 25 pixels, it should be upper than the spawn location, and then he will fall down when we do anchored false. But before that, I forgot, actually there's an important part. We need to make all of our eggs anchored. Okay, let me open and I select all of them. I go to the, okay, in here I need to anchor them. Then I will do anchored false, so he can fall down. Okay, so this one was for the positioning. The positioning is pretty simple, yeah. Teleporting, you just take your egg position and is equal to random spawn position. So this position that, or the spawn that which has been selected, automatically the egg will be in that place, yeah. But we use vector 3 dot new and we make it a little bit upper, so he will fall down, like he's from the top, he's falling down. Okay, so this was for that one. How we can make him fall down? Simply we make our anchored false. So a clone dot anchored let's say anchored is equal to false. Okay, this was for making him fall down. Let's try, we check the result if it's working. I will do live test. After 5 seconds, there will be a new egg will fall down automatically and he will pick up randomly. This one he selected rainbow, that one they selected 2 times the water one, and they're selecting random spawn locations. Yeah, let's say this one, do you see they selected the red one, and that one, there you go. Okay, so it means it's working. Yeah, but if we touch the egg, nothing will happen, you see. If we touch the egg, nothing happens, we just walk through it. So we will do the code, we will tell him when we touch the egg should be disappeared, and the spawn or the GUI, the message that we have made, should be appeared, so we can see the message and we need to click on the message, okay, and so on other. Okay, so this is working. After 5 seconds the code is repeating. Why? Because we used while do, right? Okay, so this is done. I will come back. Now we will do the code for touching. Yeah? If the egg clone or the egg that has been spawned, if we touch that one, so what will happen? So for that one we do the code in here. Let me do the code for touching. We type egg clone. Okay, egg clone dot touched. So what will happen? We connect with our function. We make a function in here, function, there you go. The function argument will be hit. Hit is an argument when the player will be touching the egg. Okay, so now what we do, we make a variable and name of player. We say local player. Yeah, there you go. Player is equal to game.players. We first take all of our players in here so we can find out if our player has touched or not. There you go. Game.players. We take him get all players. Get player from character. Okay, so we take all player from the character and we connect our player or character with there. So we give the hit to each of our players. So hit dot parent. So there with the parent. So now each of our player will have the hit option. We can trace them through hit. But in here, for tracing them through hit, in here we need one more remote event. The remote event will inform us that what is it for, and for example if it's touched or not touched. So for that one we will use a remote event. Let's say I go to replicated storage, I click on plus, I will use normal remote event. Okay, I will rename the remote event to found egg. So this remote event will fire when we touch the egg. So in here, after giving the parent, now we do the code for touching one. Okay, so what we will type, we type game.replicated storage, okay, dot found egg, the one I have add found egg, fire client. Okay, so if the fire client has been happened, then you do what? We type player comma egg clone dot name. So we take the egg clone name and we tell him to do what? Check first if the player has touched the egg clone, and then you do what? Take the name. And after that, now what do? We destroy our egg. We tell him the egg clone that has been touched, do what? Destroy it. So we destroy our egg. Okay, this process was just for checking if he touched or not. If he touched though, then what? Then destroy the egg. But the GUI message will still not work. Let's check first if it's if the eggs are disappearing or not. Okay, they're spawning. Yeah, they're hiding. You see, when we touch on the egg will hide automatically. There you go. Okay, there you go. It's hiding all of them. You see they're dropping new one. After 5 seconds there will be a new egg will be teleported or spawned in a different random position. Okay, so you can have as much as eggs you want. You can have different colors, different design, and you can have more spawn location or less spawn location also. Okay, so this code, touching code, is working. Remote event is helping us. Now what we will do is we will do the code for our starter GUI or for the message. So the message have to come. For message also, this found egg will help us when we do the fire client. We can understand that if it's happened. So we go to our screen. Inside our screen in here, we will add a local script. Okay, this local script is going to help us for our starter GUI. We will add a local script, and I'm going to rename the local script to, let's say, client. Okay, so in this client what we will do is, let me delete this one. In the client we will do the code for our message. Yeah, in here first what we will do is we will make one variable, and that variable will be about what? That variable will be about to store our screen GUI inside our variable. So let me rename this one, just type GUI. Okay, so I'll make a variable local GUI is equal to script dot parent. Yeah, so the parent of this script will be stored in this one. Okay, so we will store the parent of this script in here, which is GUI, so we can access easier to our GUI. Okay, so we can find out our frame and so on other. Okay, this one is done. Now we make another variable to access our frame. We make local frame is equal to GUI. We take it from the GUI due to we have it. We give a condition. We tell him wait for child. Yeah, wait for child. What will be the child name? The child name will be frame. There you go. Okay, so the frame is available. Now we make another variable for the childs of the frame, which will be let's say the VPF, viewport frame. So I'll access the viewport frame from here. I'll give the shortcut VPF, yeah, which stands for viewport frame. I will take the VPF from frame. The same process, I will tell him wait for child, and the child name will be viewport frame. Yeah, there you go, viewport frame. Okay, so the viewport frame is already available with us. We can access easier. Another variable I will make for OK button. Yeah, so I will type OK is equal to frame, the same process, wait for child. The child name will be text button. Yeah, I didn't change the name, so I'll just type, I think that's also okay, text button. Okay, the variables are ready. Now we can access all of our stuff easier in here. Now we will directly do the code. Yeah, in here first code we will do is we will talk about our fire client. When the found egg do fire client, that it means when the player touches the egg, what will happen? We first do the code for that one. Game dot replicated storage dot found egg on client event. So what will happen? We do connect what, and we make one function also. Function, there you go. The function argument will be what? It will be egg name. In here this function will help us to take the egg name and make the copy of the egg, the one we touch. So we can take the photo of the egg, we can take the name of the egg, and we can find other information also. So this one will be our function. Inside this function, now what I will do is the first one, game dot replicated storage dot eggs. What will happen? We tell him find first child. You find the first child, the one which will be with touching. If it's the same, for example, then what? It means the egg that you touch, if it's available inside the eggs folder, then do what in here? In here we make the copy of that one. Okay, we make a clone of the egg, the one we find or the one we touch. So we say local egg clone is equal to what? We make the clone from game dot replicated storage dot eggs we give the egg name, and we make a clone. Yeah, we make a clone of the one we find. We will make the clone from the replicated storage again. Yeah, the same process. Okay, so we have made the clone. Let me make the clone capital. Okay, so the clone is done. We have made the clone of the egg. Now what we do, we bring the egg clone, the one we made, we give it to the VPF. Why? VPF is going to help us to take the name and to take the image of that egg. So for that one, we tell him a clone dot parent is equal to VPF. Okay, we give the parent also. Now what do we do is, now we do the code for our text. We take the name of the egg clone, the one we make egg, we take the text, or we can say we take the name. How do we do? We type frame dot found egg, okay, or found label. You found label is what, let's say is equal to, I will change the text, and there if we type you found, right, I type until there only. Now we will add the name of the egg. We type double dot and we select the egg name. Egg name is going to help us, dot dot, and then I will use the, let's say, quotation again. I'll give the exclamation symbol, and then I can use the rest of information. So this will be our process. Okay, so we are done with the label information. Now what we will do is, we do the code for taking the photo. Yeah, so for taking the photo, what we do, we make a variable in here to take the photo of the egg clone, the one we make one variable name of camera. In here we will add one camera using instance dot new, and after that what we do is we open the brackets, we use quotation, and we type camera. There you go. So our camera is available now. Now we do the changes for our camera dot parent, who will be the parent of the camera, let's say VPF. We give the camera also to the VPF. Why? So the VPF can take a photo. Okay, this is done. Now we connect our VPF with our current camera. VPF dot current camera is equal to what? Is equal to the camera variable, the new one that we have made. After connecting that one, now it's time to take the photo of the picture. Okay, so for that one we type again camera, let's say camera dot cframe. We use cframe. Okay, cframe is equal to a clone cframe. We do positioning. We tell him to find out the position of the each other. Okay, a clone dot cframe is equal to cframe what? Cframe dot new. We give a new position. For that one we will use this thing. Yeah, we will bring the same position of that one and we'll bring in the center. So we do what? We clone dot new. We give the left and right side 0 0 0 comma a clone, the clone position dot size. We fit the size also. We make the size smaller. So we type dot size z plus how much? Plus 1.5. Yeah, 1.5. There you go. Or we can use, sorry, we don't use plus, I forgot, we use multiply by. Okay, this was for setting the position. Okay, this was all the code for this one. Now we just need to do the code to make them visible, and visible true and visible false. For visibling them, we do the code in here. Yeah, we give the code in here after this option. Let's say I say to make him visible, I say frame dot visible. Let's say frame dot visible is equal to what? Is equal to true. Why? Because he touched the egg. For hiding, we talk about our mouse button. When mouse, let's say okay, first we tell him okay, dot mouse button one click. When you click on the OK button, so what will happen? We connect, we make a function. The argument of the function will be empty. We just need to do or make him hide. Frame dot visible is equal to false. There you go. Okay, this was all of our code. We are done, and this is how we make him show and hide our frame. This one for showing, this one for hiding, this one for taking the name, changing the name and show us the text, this one for taking the photo. This was for our client, this was for our picking up random position for our random eggs and random spawns. This is how we make the clone of the spawn, and this is how we position them together in the same area. And this is the touching one, we make a function. This is how we destroy him, okay, using remote event. Let's check our result. We are done successfully, and let's see, there's one more thing I need to do. I need to decrease the amount, let's say 1 second only, yeah. So 1 second, after 1 second they will do spawning. There you go. As you can see, after 1 second they do spawn, and when you click on the egg, when we touch the egg, you see what happened. The message comes up and it shows us the result, yeah.